Ladies and gentlemen, so today we have a very long overdue change, which comes as a nice start to 2019. We're going to talk about this one a little bit today and explain overall how this impacts Act 4, but the essential change is that now Act 4 is permanently 2 energy per tile move. Previously it was 3 energy per tile move, but the overall thing is that Act 4 is still, you know, a little bit ridiculous and does suffer from the fact that it was made like just over 3 years ago. The rewards are a little bit outdated and the content, you know, is insanely repetitive. It's overly drawn out and quite frankly boring in comparison to a lot of the other newer stuff that has been added to the game. So let's talk about, you know, some of the stuff in a little bit more detail. So this is just the post confirming that is permanently 2 energy per tile. Again, this change probably should have been made about a year and a half ago, but this is the Act 4 energy cost before the reduction. So this is the previous cost of 3 energy per tile. It'd be very close to about 15,000 energy to 100% here. There's the breakdown of every single chapter. So this takes it from 14,910, which it was previously, which at, you know, 70 energy, if you're spending like 30 units on a full energy refill, would have previously been 6,390 units to 100% explore, and that's not including, you know, energy regeneration or energy gained within Act 4. That's just to give you a kind of a rough ballpark of like the amount of units worth of energy that you need to use to explore it, down to 9,940 now. So it's roughly about 4,260 units worth of energy. And again, you do gain energy free on a daily basis, and you do, you know, pick it up within Act 4 as well, so you can make some of your energy back there. But it's still, you know, insanely repetitive. It's overly drawn out. It's boring. Act 4 is honestly one of the lowest points of content design when it comes to Marvel Contest of Champions, and having you know, gone through the entire game on my free-to-play account and doing Act 4 100% again, I'm just reminded how insanely bad it is, man. I wanted to make like a rant video on like this path alone in this chapter, but there are so many quests like it, because, you know, if we have a look at this Thor Jane Foster chapter as a whole right here, I think there's like 9 or 10 different paths, and one of them is just so incredibly ridiculous. If you're taking the very, very long path here, you know, starting here on the left-hand side and going all the way around, it's a total of 29 fights. There are so many different fights like going around, and then you hit this point and you're like, oh, there are no enemies, it's just a load of treasure chests, but then it's just ambush after ambush after ambush of symbiote, and it's so incredibly drawn out and insanely boring. And again, there are like 9 paths in this, and this is just one quest out of 6 in a chapter for rewards that currently they suck. They suck in comparison to like time and energy invested in other points in the game. So Act 4 is still in this very, very weird place at the moment where it kind of needs to do either one of two things. They need to go back and chop out a lot of the paths because they're way too long, they're way too boring, it's just rubbish content. Or they actually need to like add in rewards that are kind of equivalent to both the difficulty level, the time invested, and the challenge for the current state of the game. So some of my recommendations for doing some of that stuff, because again, I think the Act 4 rewards, you know, for doing it 100%, it's still worth going for a lot of players for really the sole reason of the Tier 2 Alpha. That is pretty much the only reason to do it, to get another Rank 4 champion, but it is a slog, it is such a grind, and it still takes so much time. But I think one of the things Act 4 needs to be made a little bit more into is a bit more of a stepping stone for people that are looking to bridge the gap between Act 4 and Act 5, and those players, they need more chances at very good 4-star champions, they need a couple more shots at a good 5-star champion, and they need more T4CC. I think with the changes to Alliance Quest and the Glory Store, like, everybody that can do a little bit of Alliance Quest is absolutely rolling in Basic, they are rolling in Tier 1 Alpha, because, you know, those resources are very, very cheap to buy with Glory, and you're getting a few via the milestone rewards, so those are fairly straightforward there, but, you know, bridging the gap between your first completion, because the completion rewards for Act 4, they're nice, they feel very, very worth it when you go through, especially as a new player, you know, getting that guaranteed 4-star, and also the 5 Tier 4 basics, and also now the upgraded crystal. Like, it's a great time. Definitely the completion rewards are fairly decent there, but then working through every single chapter, you've just got rubbish rewards for doing the 100% exploration, and you don't really get kind of even a semi-decent stack of rewards to you 100% complete it. So if I was in Kabam's shoes, because, you know, look at the amount of stuff that, like, Kabam has given away via various events in the last year or so, like the Symbiote one, we've got Gwenpool Goes to the Movies, we've got the login calendars, the Christmas event, the anniversary event, there have been multiple 5-star champions, multiple tier 4 CC, so many 4-star champions just for doing simple stuff like 2-star arenas, logging in, fighting 2-star champions, so just really, really easy stuff. So for an actual piece of static content, it's such a good stepping stone. They should have decent rewards, and my suggestion would be, if I was in the position of Kabam, every single chapter for exploration should give 3 additional things. They should give 1 fully formed 4-star champion, because again, it's really, really long. It's really, really long. It takes ages. There's a good level of difficulty for progressing players as well, despite how boring and repetitive it can be. So yeah, it should give at least a fully formed 4-star champion, ideally 2,500 5-star shards, just to help kind of those newer players and progressing players lunge toward their first 5-star character even more. And again, you know, even getting your first 5-star character, it might be a total dud, it might be an alright champion, it might be a really good champion, but there is always that spectrum of luck within Marvel Contest of Champions there. So a 4-star champion, 2,500 5-star shards, and ideally either a fully formed T4CC or a good stack of like the T4CC fragment crystals. I think those are really good for kind of like broadly amassing a lot of tier 4 class catalyst there, but that's one of the biggest things I think a lot of players around this level struggle with. And to be honest, like these crystals, man, the lesser ascendant crystals, even the ascendant crystals, they are rubbish. Most of the time they contain ISO, so yeah, you could, I mean, you know, if you want to leave them in, but you could pull them out and actually add in like reliable ways to get T4CC. I think that'd be very, very useful. And everything really, apart from the mastery point, is just a little bit of a joke in terms of the 100% rewards, and goes back to the days where ISO was just so rare and valuable that it was insane. But you know, a good stack of ISOs really, really good, but you know, we need some better rewards there. So you know, every single chapter should have a 4-star, 2,500 5-star shards, and some more tier 4 class catalyst, and this is would provide an insane bridge for these kind of mid-tier progressing players here, and wouldn't be like insane, man, because even for doing, you know, all the chapters 100%, it just adds in 4 more 4-star champions and also a fully formed 5-star as well. And then I think for doing it 100%, because again, it's no light work at all. It's no light work. You've got 24 of these insanely long, insanely repetitive quests. Like the state of the game, you know, you've given out a 5-star champion for this 2-star arena. Like over the last, you know, there's been another one also for logging in for the last 2 months for exploration of this absolutely mammoth task. It doesn't seem unreasonable to add in like either 10,000 5-star shards or a fully formed 5-star for doing it, just as a kind of nice like icing on the cake reward. And this would, you know, I think it'd be a great change. It would really help bridge the gap, and also for everybody that's completed the exploration of this as well, you'd like just send out the rewards via in-game mail. It'd just be a very, very nice bonus, a very, very happy day, would make everybody much happier, you know, that spent the additional like, you know, 2,000 or so units equivalent worth of energy actually exploring this 100%. It would help ease those salty wounds of people that have spent, you know, a lot more time, a lot more energy, a lot more money exploring this when it was more difficult, to get kind of that nice bonus. And yeah, I just think it would be a great, outstanding play by Kabam, and a really, really good thing to do. But yeah, I still think Act 4, it's just in a very, very odd place at the moment. But also, one thing that I do want to say, in all fairness, I don't think Act 5 is anywhere near as boring, repetitive, or drawn out as Act 4 is. I like a lot of the design of Act 5. I definitely have my issues with the fun and interactiveness of the collector fight and a few other encounters, but I think there's a lot of good content within Act 5 that presents a good challenge that you have to like learn and overcome. I do understand that for a lot of people, like initially going into Act 5, like Masochism, Bane, and also Buffet can present huge challenges, because those nodes are very kind of new and scary to a lot of people. But I think, you know, once you spend a little bit of time to learn and play and overcome those challenges, like, none of those nodes are too bad to deal with, in all fairness. So yeah, Act 4 needs a massive overhaul in terms of its rewards, and I'd really like if they looked into that one a little bit more. But also, just another thing that really, really does need, you know, might as well tag this on in the end of the video. Road to Labyrinth of Legends, man, this sucks in terms of the rewards. The rewards are so terrible for it. This is something as well in dire need of a revamp if we have the attention of any Kabam employees at the moment, because Road to Labyrinth of Legends, and this is something I want to put out so much, I've already mentioned this in the progression guide, but just don't even look at Road to the Labyrinth of Legends until you have done 100% Act 5, because it is equally as difficult and the rewards absolutely suck. So focus on doing 100% Act 5, and don't even worry about Road to Labyrinth of Legends until you are ready to do Labyrinth of Legends. That is my top piece of advice for a lot of progressing players as well. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on Act 4 in the comment section below. What do you think of the energy change? Is it enough? What changes do you think need to be made to Act 4 to kind of make it a better piece of content? Because I think it just is in a little bit of a weird place at the moment with its design, and I'm very glad they kind of steered away from the direction of a lot of the stuff that they initially did in Act 4 with Act 5, and I'm hoping they stay well away from a lot of the Act 4 design when it comes to Act 6 as well. So yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.